Okay, welcome to Stormcaller's Fury. Last we left you guys was a little bit of a strange one. You were in you reached the town of Barkloss in the drowsing lake at the base of the Euthulafern and the Hayfoller peaks in the jagged lands of Dolrum. Having successfully navigated your way on a barge, making your way all the way down to this small little town, you thought all was well, and prepared yourselves to have a little bit of a nice evening of revelry and finally some rest, which was obviously, as every D&D game is, interrupted by a series of screams and people running away from the lake as the town sits on the lakeside. Walking outside, three of you, having Zephyr kept back a little bit because you weren't here, you came across a very large man who seemed to be of a similar nature of the Maradons that you'd seen the previous day that had attacked you, these female water elementals. Realizing that he was in fact looking for a very specific princess of the royal family of the air elementals, you recognize that Zephyr was probably better where she was, standing in the tavern, probably looking out the window at everything going on, and tried to intervene with him upon realizing that he was the father of the girls that you had killed. At least some of them, and some of the others had run away. They had, much as spoilt children do, run straight to their father, and he had come to wreak his revenge upon the people who had done so. You also gained a little bit of knowledge as he explained that he was, in fact, displaced, him and his daughters, from their home in the plane of water, and found themselves in the drowsing lake, unable to figure out where they were to go, essentially, and obviously turning to raiding and consuming some of the passing travelers of Gambler's Run. With some very high persuasion from Keenan, he agreed that perhaps an enemy of an enemy might be his friend, but ever with his daughter cajoling him, said that if they were to win the fight that was to come, that he would grant them a favor. And we did a little bit of combat, and you were successful. It was touch and go a little bit, but you were successful in order to both persuade and defeat him in combat, although you did realize that he was holding back a little bit, and encouraged you not to do so, as it was very clear that it was a one-sided battle if he wanted it to be. But you succeeded, and he told Keenan that he would grant him a favor, which, in a loose translation, favor actually means a wish. So further on down the line, you will have the option to ask of him a wish when and if you find him again. Moving from that, you guys have another long rest as you complete your evening and wake up the next day in the tavern, gathering your horses, to which we now remember all of the names, and it took us a while because we forgot about Jeremy. So, I will pick up with you guys on the road. It's about noon. You have been riding for 2 days straight. Now, given that one of you is an outlander, the availability for water and food is there, so you can supply up to 5 people with enough food to last them the journey. I need someone to make me a survival check as to how your... or actually, we'll do it this way. Everyone aside from Kalanthar, because he is busy, everyone else will have a role in setting up your camp each night. If you would like to explain me what that role is, and how we will find out how well you do at it, and then there will be obviously rewards and consequences as such. But yes, who would like to go first?
Zephyr will, I'd say, take charge of like setting up like a fire, like a fire pit,
Mm-hmm.
like for cooking and heat purposes.
Okay.
And yeah, that's something that she'd like be like, oh well, I can feed it air and yeah.
Okay. Can you make me a survival check?
That's a 21.
Okay, describe to me how Zephyr very successfully is able, over the past couple of days, to set up fires and give your party a little bit of heat and maybe the shelter of light.
Yeah. So I'd say that she is able to like gather the wood and like quite easily, and like even when she encounters um wood that's maybe like a little too damp normally for um for lighting a fire, she's able to kind of use her powers a little bit in terms of like being able to like draw moisture out of like the wood successfully by kind of moving the air like over it uh
Okay,
like
so you're a
constantly, and just
hairdryer.
basically basically and being able to like build a fire and then kind of keep it going just by having like a constant stream of like good airflow and everything, and then when she feels it like going out, and yeah, she's just able to be able to control it that way.
That's very nice. Okay. Keenan or Nim?
I will go next. So Keenan will look after camp comforts. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll like clear the ground where people are going to put their bedrolls down to make sure there's no like stones or anything poking in their backs. He'll make sure that like there's a decent sized rock or a fallen tree or something for people to sit on or to sit against, and just kind of work to provide as much luxury as is possible while camping.
Okay. And Nim, what are you doing?
Nim is going to kind of take charge of the lookout situation. She's gonna like each place they stop, she's gonna assess kind of potential places for people to kind of approach the camp and where is best for like whoever's on lookout to sit, and she's gonna kind of like set up a little lookout station area so that, and she'll take like first watch just to make sure that everything is kind of going to be like safe for everyone. She's gonna kind of lend her experience, I guess, of kind of her traveling that she did back in Exalora, and kind of looking after herself to the rest of whoever else goes on watch after her.
Okay. Keenan, can you make me a performance check? And Nim, if you can make me a survival as well.
Yes. That's a 15.
It's 20.
Okay.
Sorry,
And
19.
That's fine. And Kalinthar, can you roll me a survival as well for me?
So 21.
Nice. Okay. So very successful camping on the first 2 days, as you find yourselves surrounded by rolling plains and greenery. Not so much in terms of vast collection of trees. There is obviously some trees, but there's no sort of forests all around you. And just riding along, every now and then you see the occasional other traveler either going the same way as you or passing back a different way. And each night when you set up your camp, Keenan tidying everything, making sure sort of the comfort side of things for you guys is perfect. You often see Kalinthar just disappears, and you know where he's going, but you just don't really ask. He just kind of disappears for a little bit. Zephyr setting up the fire, and Nim essentially making a survey of the area to make sure everyone knows what they're looking for and a good direction to look in on your night shifts. Your nights are uninterrupted, very unusually, as it seems to be
Keenan
quite a nice...
Suggest.
Yes?
Sorry to interrupt you. Can Keenan suggest that we train each other to, keep ourselves in form? It's inspired by previous training with Nim.
If you want to.
So Keenan is going to try and show people how to be more stealthy.
Okay.
Nim listens very intently.
Zephyr will be trying her best, but she does not see this going well.
As Keelan says that and Nim looks excited, Callan just like nudges Nim slightly, like subtly, and just hands her like a little canister, a little like vial of oil, like to grease up the bear.
She kind of looks a little confused to start off with, and then is like, oh, okay, makes sense. And she starts like, kind of where the parts of her armor kind of like, there's a bit that goes over another part. She starts to like oil it, and like all the bits that move, she's kind of like putting them in, and she just kind of she asked like one of the others to like do like the back part of her like shoulder and stuff, and she's just like, I'm gonna get this right, guys. I'm not gonna get us hurt again. It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna do it.
You get this.
Okay. Your nights are uninterrupted, and as you find yourself on your third day of travel, my question is, what sort of pace are we setting in order to make it to your final destination, and have we figured out a direction that you're going once you reach a crossroads?
So it's either the Zagra way or Whispering Pines. Is that right?
I believe so. Let me double check.
Because Desperados Junction is the crossroads, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Put a little.
So essentially, when you get to Desperados Junction, you can either go far east, and go straight to the Shimmering Pools. You can go through Zagra, as in you can go south and go through Zagra, or you can go further south and just circumvent the entire thing. But it's up to you guys what sort of direction you go in. For you, Zephyr, I would say you are very familiar with the lands south of Desperatus Junction. So Zagra is a quite a large town. It's a fishing town, sort of based around the Jazara confluence, which are a series of different lakes and rivers. The Whispering Pines is a forest to the west of Tazisraela, which is where you come from. And Tazisraela is your city. But your mother did warn you that Zagra and Tazisraela would be both beneficial and very dangerous if anyone recognized you.
Yeah, I would say, like, with that in mind, Zephyr, like, when kind of they make decisions of, like, traveling, would have mentioned that they should probably avoid those areas, or at the very least be very aware of trying not to draw attention, which I know is very hard for a lot of us. But
Keenan
both in
hangs his
terms
head
of
in shame.
both in terms of how they look and Keenan's propensity for showmanship. But
Very
yeah,
true.
so I think she'd say that she'd rather avoid crowded areas unless they need to go in for like supplies or anything like that.
Well, as much as I would like to avoid them, I think like we need potions. Like none of
Yeah.
our magic is gonna work in hell, so we need to like,
True.
and we cannot heal ourselves in hell. That is something we learned last week. All healing magic other than potions will not work. So we need potions.
We could also
Would we get potions
try
there?
and we could also like if we don't want to go to the really crowded areas, as long as we can get the materials for it, I can make like the basic ones. If you
I
want
would also
greater,
I'd also ask, do we have potion money? Because I feel like we went shopping not too long ago and used up a bunch of money.
that's a good point.
Nim says I can probably afford a couple. Like I don't have a lot, but I have at least a little bit.
Am I remembering correctly that the basic ones are 50 gold each for most places?
Yes.
Oh, then I can afford more than a couple. I thought they were more than that.
So
I mean,
basic ones,
the
obviously,
yeah.
2d4 plus 2, and you can find them in most towns and cities. Greater healing potions you'll find very easily in a city, maybe in a large town, perhaps. But in terms of crafting, everything would take half the amount of gold, but also would take up a lot of your time.
So how much were greater?
Greater are usually 150.
Yeah.
Is like the set price, and then depending on how well you can negotiate around that.
Should we
Yes.
buy a small stockpile, then get Keenan to negotiate for cheaper materials, and I'll do some crafting in the downtime whilst we're traveling? Just so we got
Yeah, I
like
think
a
so.
stockpile either way.
I will
mean,
say,
we could.
if you are choosing to craft potions, you will not be able to help with food,
food.
and water, because your downtime now is spent hunting.
Food and hunting.
Yeah. So
Um,
it's up to you if you want to do it that way.
I mean, we could also do a small job in one of these places to earn some cash or barter for
Is
healing
it worth
potion.
us utilizing Zephyr's amazing ability to message across the world and see if we can get our advance payment from back over in where was it? Wyrdcast Coast? Because I'm assuming we're due a payment by now, right? It's been months. Like who and that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how we would get the money to us, but we could try.
We get like an IOU maybe.
Yeah. Because I just thought
Does the
we
concept
might.
of interest exist in this world? Haven't been paid in a while. Been building up.
I would say probably. I'd say on this conversation, you do come to realize that it was never discussed what specifically the payment would be for your services. Although Keenan
Oh,
did
no.
try and persuade certain angles, there was never an actual amount that they said.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be able to give you what any sort of knowledge
Okay.
into to how much
Mhm.
that would be.
I think we also could probably do with some potions of fire resistance. That's the thing, right?
That is a thing.
Just that, I don't know about how much you guys know, but remember those hellhounds that were spitting fire? And me and Seth were okay, but the rest of you, little ouchie, lots.
Yeah, I remember being a chew toy. Yeah.
Yeah, literally as Nim brings this up, Zephyr looks straight at Callan and is just like, some of us more than others.
You literally see him like just like crick his neck, and then you'll see like there's like some scars of like the jaw marks still in his neck. It's just like, yeah, I remember vividly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of hell is fire. So let's.
Fire resistance sounds like a good idea. Much better than mine, which was to hide behind Junim. So yeah.
I mean, you're all more than welcome to do that. I just think the additional fire resistance potion would probably help.
Yeah.
Especially with the whole can't heal magic thing.
Is it just healing, or is it just divine magic that won't work? Or was it any?
It's any form of healing.
Okay.
Yeah, and I you know, I mean, I don't want to stereotype or anything, but like when you think hell and you think just fire everywhere, and yeah, I could do with not being set on fire. And
That's actually a very good question. Calenthar, can you make me an history roll? Let's see if they ever taught you about hell.
As it's hell, I use the black and red dice.
So it's like, would Nim know about the like cold planes that are in hell
There's a 14.
from her childhood, or would she only know about where Asmodeus is from?
I would say your line is infernal, so you're not sure as to anything else, because you were very specific in her aspirations to learn more about Asmodeus in particular. So I'd say she kind of like tunnel visioned into the infernal
That's
side
very
of things. What did you get, Kanatha?
14.
A 14. I'd say Nim is aware, and she sort of like prompts this from the conversation that you guys are having. That there are different domains. There are different realms of hell. There are different circles. So the infernal realm is very hot and fiery, and you would guess that that is the sort of flames and black sand and everything that you've seen Holly in. It's not the only one. There are abyssal and chthonic realms of hell, which are typically associated with different sort of stereotypes. The abyssal side of things is a lot more dark in terms of emotion and mental state. The specific environment changes depending on whom it is that is dwelling there. It's very psionic based, so you would be all right down there. Chthonic is very much you're not too sure on. You don't have a whole lot of reference for that side of things, but that is definitely cold. So it would entirely depend on what realm you find yourself in.
I say the portals aren't exactly reliable at the minute, are they? We could end up in any plane of hell.
But since I would say since your target is to go get Holly, you in particular, then yes, potions of fire resistance might be quite handy. Zephyr, do you want to make me an insight check?
Yes. Insight. That was a nat 1.
Uh-huh.
No insight for Zephyr. Opposite insight for Zephyr. Zephyr thinks hell is warm and balmy.
What was it? Sorry, I was reading.
A nat 1.
A nat 1.
Yeah. Looking forward to hell.
No, so this insight was more about your knowledge of available sort of gigs that would be coming your way. But since I would say that since Zephyr was a little bit insular in terms of adventuring until she decided to go do it, and then she just left. There wasn't much reference for, oddly enough, specifically adventuring in and around your house. So yes, in terms of getting more money, you're not too sure.
Well, are we on our way to Desperados Junction at the minute, or are we kind of just like...
Yes.
Okay. So, how about, as it's like a major trade crossing, we just ask around, we get there, and see if there's any odd jobs. Surely there's some like escort stuff that'll be kicking around, right? Get a bit of extra cash for going the same way that we're going, probably. I imagine there's people working their way south.
Yeah, probably.
That sounds like a good idea.
Get our merc on.
I've done that work before, so I can.
I think I've done that work before, but it may have been a different type of escorting.
I was literally waiting for that.
Oh my god.
I was waiting for that. Oh.
Classic.
Yeah, I think maybe. Zephyr's mom gave her like a way for her to disguise herself. Yes.
I don't remember.
Or I feel like something was given to her that helped her with that. Did I make notes? Do I make notes?
Did Seth give you the show you how to use the
Seth
hat?
Seth showed you how to use the hat.
Oh yes, I think that.
If you still have it.
Yeah. I don't think I added it to I don't think I added anything to my inventory.
I think she would have taken it with
Yeah.
her.
It's fine. Nothing. She's not going to stand out, is she? With, in blue skin and a little pet dragon.
I don't know.
There's loads of people like that.
Yeah, tons. Sure.
Yeah.
She's just a bit cold. That's all it is.
We'll just get Keenan to cast minor illusion on it, and then turn it into like a little puppy or something. Be fine.
I mean, depending on how long we're there for, I can just make you invisible.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Or maybe we do that stealth training, and this is my chance to practice.
I mean, that works, I think.
Yeah.
Zephyr walks into town wearing a fake mustache and fake nose and big glasses.
Yeah,
Um,
we can disguise you. I've got a disguise kit. We can tone down the blue,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
we're not gonna whitewash Zephyr, are we? I don't think that's a route we can go.
No, I was actually thinking of making her look more like Nim.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my god, let's Nim starts like looking at the floor and stuff, and she's like, let's get you like a
That is a very good
some
point.
wood on the side of the
Keenan, can
road.
you make me an insight check? And this is to sort of figure out what would be the best disguise for her.
Okay.
We met a blue tiefling, didn't we?
You have met
That was
Blue
a thing.
Tiefling. Yeah.
That's an 11.
On an 11, I'd say it's not too. I'd say your DC was probably about a 10, because you have met someone who looks very similar, which is the man you met last night, and I'd say with you and Zephyr together, Water Genasi don't look that different from her. A lot of Water Genasi have blue skin. The only difference with them is a lot of the time their hair or some portions of the skin might have scales, or their eyes. So it's always small details that sort of change it. The primary problem with Zephyr in particular isn't so much, obviously appearance is one of them, but Zephyr also has an aura. She has like this moving air around her constantly, and I wouldn't say she knows how to completely control it. It is just like a subconscious side of things. That is a lot harder to mask in terms of a magical signature. So whilst you would be able to quite easily probably find a suitable visual disguise for her, if anyone's specifically looking out for someone of an air elemental lineage, might be able to notice Zephyr just from the aura that she has. But with that information also gives you maybe an idea of a direction to go in terms of being able to mask that from her. So yeah, if anything, it just gives you another problem, but at least
Quick
it's
question.
something.
Quick question: how big's this like aura of wind going around?
It's enough that it moves her hair.
Would you say it's like about 5 foot ish?
No, that would be like what, 5 foot outwards? It covers her
Yeah.
figure. So it's however tall she is in height, because I can't remember.
So this probably won't work, but just spitballing. Could I, in theory, use magical tinkering and touch like her like breastplate thing and imbue it so it creates a static visual effect of it just being normal while she's walking around?
Ooh, let me look at your magical tinkering.
So it basically allows me to touch a non-magical object and imbue it with a 5 foot radius of light, a recorded message, an odor, a non-verbal sound, or a static visual effect. The message could be up to 25 words.
I would say... Oh, that's tough.
I can look through my infusions.
Static visual. I would say no, because it has to be static, so it wouldn't move with her. It would just be... So essentially, you can like you can make like neon signs on people.
I was was
or
thinking,
like
like,
images
the
of stuff.
frosted window situation, like it kind
Yeah,
of like
yeah.
static in front.
I don't know.
Um,
I think it's not powerful enough to obscure her. Obviously, we know it's sorcery. But her inherited gifts. Much like, I don't know, much like Imogen in Critical Role, I feel that alongside air, there's, now that she's unlocked some Tempest, there's like a little bit of static lightning. It's very, you're a walking bug zapper for one, but it's very much I'd say it would help. It would help. I would say yes, it would help, but I don't know by how much. I couldn't say that it can obscure it completely. But again, this is if you come across people that are looking for her.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a toughie. It's a tough decision. And I'm glad I don't have to make it.
So this is with them going into like Talis Rayla.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like so? From what Zephyr remembers, in terms of like how people are dressed,
Yes.
how like would somebody that's kind of in a cloak, like if her face was obscured partially, how much would she stand out? Like, is it a place where, in terms of climate, in terms of like just the overall way people are, because it's quite a
Roll me history or religion with advantage, because you are from there.
advantage.
Whilst
Right,
I look up my
those are
notes.
the things Zephyr's worst at. That's okay, wait, 13 or that's an 18. There we go. 18 history.
On an 18, and this is talking about Cyrusia as a whole, or Cerelia as you know it. Sorry, there's a little slip of the tongue there. This is talking about Cerelia as a whole. There are a variety of different people, cultures. It's a realm, or it's a kingdom built by the elves and the Genasi. So you get a lot of overlap of different styles. The Earth Genasi, very much more of a Eastern kind of theme to them. So there is a lot of veils and robes and things that, and sort of depending on, there are some Fire Genasi that have like different styles of turbans and things like that. So yes, there are things that you could wear in a style that isn't necessarily your own to sort of hide different things. Alongside that, the monarch, the Shadelight monarch, is known because you never see their face. They are constantly wearing a mask. And on an 18, you are aware that there is an upcoming festival. Yes, there is a festival of the Shadelight, and during said festival, everyone wears different masks.
There we go. Yeah, I think Zephyr would relay this and say, I think we should be okay. But in addition to wearing, like, her putting her hood up and kind of wearing her cloak in a manner that she wouldn't normally kind of necessarily have naturally, I think she'd ask Callan for assistance with acquiring, like, with hunting and acquiring some like bone to try and make like whittle into horns.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. On that 18, obviously you guys will come across this, but this gives you a little bit of time to prepare. Are we going to Zagra? Are we going to Taz Israela? Or are we sort of just going around them? Are we specifically going in those towns and cities, or are we going around them? Are we going near them? Have you guys figured out what direction you would go in? So, looking at the map, you can either go from Desperados Junction straight down south through the Whispering Pines, past the Lake of Verity, and into the Spirewood. That would take you completely out of the way of the towns and cities. It would be slightly longer. You can either go south and then east through Zagra and cross bridges to get to the Spirewood. You can then go east and then south and go through Tazis Rayla, or you can go south and east and etc. Or you can go completely east and forget about all of that. So it's up to you guys. Essentially, you have a bunch of different directions to go in. And the reason I'm asking this is this would obviously inform how much lore you would receive about Tazis Rayla as a city, rather than if you're not going in it, then we don't need to cover that.
I think from like Zephyr's like reluctance to go would be a lot more alleviated, like having a kind of a disguise or ability to blend in a little bit more. And then I think even though she can't recommend or like have any knowledge of jobs, I think just the idea of going towards a bigger city might, like in her mind, be like, that's where we normally would find like more working bigger places.
That is how I don't think that would be a theory. I think especially for Keenan, that is how it, and Nim as well. That is just how it works. There is more work in places where there are more people. That's just the rules.
And Zephyr, more people means, easier to hide amongst a crowd.
Yeah.
And
Keenan,
if there's if there's a festival, probably a lot of people from out of town.
Exactly. Keenan, can you make me an insight as well? Just another one.
Sure. Is this on like what I just said about people, or about something else?
No, so
I'm trying to work out which dice to roll.
This is about your family.
Okay. That doesn't help. I'll roll my rogue dice. Insight, you say? 13.
13. As I mentioned previously, Tazis Rayla was built by elves. A representative of the Northern High Elves would be very much welcome. So it's whether or not you would want to keep your head down or use your nobility to your advantage.
Okay, good to know.
Okay.
He will go in his current outfit as a pirate.
Okay. I would say this is about the maybe the third or fourth night of you guys traveling. And Zephyr sort of sits you around and begins explaining a little bit about her homeland. She details that Tazis Rayla is, like I said, an elemental city. It has it's built in a spiraling structure, and it has 5 spirals that are designated into different aspects of the city, as with much other places. At the center is a citadel that sits on a floating island above a lake at the city's heart. There are levitating bridges of ether stone that hold up steps that you walk up to get to the citadel. It's called Vasilra. Then there's obviously the various different other parts of it. She talks about, with very much a little bit of fervor, the elite guards known as flit dancers and glade rangers, and obviously the royal guard. Flit dancers are equipped with featherlight durable armor that allows them for aerial agility. Glade Ranges are known for forest environments, and they cover a great deal of the realm of Cerelia as a whole in terms of the on the ground. All of the different guards and captains of the districts are called elemental prefects, and their armor have different colors and insignias depending on their discipline. And their disciplines are usually elemental based. So if they're wearing red, they're probably a discipline of fire. If they're wearing blue, they're probably a discipline of water, and so on and so forth. Another thing about Tazrela in recent years was that they were building the waterways, which was a new transport system that is very much in a prototype stage. In Saturday's campaign, we see it early on. Very much just a generic thing that happens, but they are building a sort of a system to move about the city a lot easier with these different waterways, because it's built on a slope. It's built on a spiral. They can use them to go up and down. Another thing about Taz-Israela as a whole is that whilst it was built by elves and genasi, they are very much accepting of a wide range of different people. It is a melting pot, essentially, of a variety of peoples, ranging from strange-looking animal folk, Yanti, minotaurs, turtles. It is a plethora. I like that word. The plethora of people. So the appearance of new travelers, very much just a common occurrence. So you would blend in quite well. And it's all led by the monarch known as the Shadelight. The Shadelight king or queen, they don't really have a gender, because the way that they're elected is the eldest child of each of the noble houses have to prove themselves in a trial, and whoever wins becomes the Shadelight, but it's never said which person wins. It's sort of a very dark ritual, because none of the children survive aside from whoever wins. So it's never known, and it sort of balances out the houses, because there's never a bias that people are aware of, because no one knows who wins. So each of the houses might think that their child has won, but they have no idea. So yes, that's definitely something to keep in mind. And as you guys are talking, you realize that you are coming up on Desperatus Junction. It is a crossroads of varying different buildings, of varying different styles. You can see, I would say, probably Keenan again can see 4 very distinct different cultures there that are very simply split into north, south, east, and west. You can see a lot of buildings and people that are dressed in variety of Nivelier style clothing from Wyrdcast Coast and beyond. You even spot a couple of Tabaxi Leonin looking people that you would guess come from further south of Wyrdcast Coast, around about the Sierra jungle area. There's a lot of like panther, leopard themed sort of styles in the way that they are moving. You can see some dwarves, which are very much from where you guys have just come from. You can see from the east a lot more of, like I said before, the sort of Eastern European style of things. There's a couple of people wearing reds and blacks. They are all human, you notice, and you would guess that they probably come from a place called Obscurum, which is near the Beacon of Harmonia. There are a few sort of wanderers and merchants, you guess, with vast big caravans and these 6-legged oxen creatures pulling them that very much look like they belong in a more hot environment. They do not look comfortable in this sort of Greenland and plains. You would guess that Keenan again would guess that they come from a place called Sapsathor, which is far, far to the east. It is the most eastern kingdom before you get to Kaloria. And then from the south, you can see, and I would say Kalanthar spots them first, a lot of very greenery orientated, a lot of like plants and barks, and a little bit you see one of them's carrying a staff of wood imbued with spiraling metals, which catches your eye, and you would guess that they are druids, and they are probably from in and around either the Feralwood, the Spirewood, or Ilariel, which is further to the south. As you come upon Desperatus Junction, not only the people, like I said, the buildings as well, you can see that they have come together in a sprawling mass that is built from the center of the crossroads, which you can see, just outwards, just varying different styles. You can see some are built from the remnants of old merchant wagons. You can see some others are just cute cottages, and in one of them there's a very large tavern-looking building, classically, with the stables off to the side. As you have reached Desperatus Junction, for anyone that does watch Saturday, they reached here and had a very terrible time, but that is not happening today. But yes, what would we like to do as you begin to come onto the crossroads of Desperatus Junction?
At what time of day is it?
I would say this is your 6th day of travel, so it's probably in the morning. You've probably camped in the morning, and it's been about 4 hours. You left about probably early. You left about 6. So it's probably about 10 o'clock in the morning.
First light, yeah.
Yeah, first light.
Cool. So we're not looking for lodgings or anything.
I wouldn't, unless you are looking to maybe stop here, gather supplies, and then leave in the next morning, or if you just want to just keep going after you've sort of resupplied.
I'd
leave that down to you, sir. I can't give you that answer. That's for you.
Yeah. I say we look out for any kind of odd jobs or work while we're here, but just replenish rations and things and keep going.
I think so. Yeah. Would
Good.
I was gonna say would I know obviously Zephyr rolled terribly for insight, but would she at least have the now experience of knowing that knowing like a tavern or somewhere that they could go like with a notice board or something? Like, not necessarily she would know that there's a notice board in that tavern, but she'd be like, oh, I know like taverns that would go for like one of the busier ones, or maybe not one of the busier ones, but one of the sketchier ones of like, yeah, more mercenary type things. Like, she wouldn't necessarily know there'd be work, but she'd be like, maybe.
I wouldn't say it's limited to, but you're the one that asked the question. So yes, there are job boards usually. Usually they are placed in taverns for the travelers. But I would say that all of you are aware of this. I'd say Nim is probably the most aware. This is how you made your money to travel. It's just kind of like, that's what she did originally before she became, the future champion of the Guardian. She was a mercenary for a little while.
Yeah, I think Nim would kind of share her experience. Like, if we're talking about trying to get a job here, then she'd be like, well, we need to check taverns, and like they normally have a job board, or at least like the bartender normally, like the barkeep tends to know kind of what's going on, and she'll kind of give little kind of, she'll probably share a couple stories of like jobs that she did back in the day before getting on that boat.
Clearing out rats in a tavern basement.
I As always.
Yeah, I would say. I would say yes. As you guys move up to this very large tavern, you can see sort of a swinging sign with a golden stag on it. It's called the Gilded Stag, funnily enough. You make your way in. It's very rowdy. There is a lot of people talking, and they're at the far back, basically the entire wall. You can see different pieces of parchment. There's one that's written on a piece of bark. Don't know what that's about, but essentially just paper and parchment everywhere, sort of nailed. Some has like a rusty old dagger in it. Like, it's just any and all jobs that you could possibly think of. Sort of approaching it, you can see that this is a place where people convene, and there is a lot of jobs. They range from jobs that only give you a place to stay and a hot meal, ranging through, obviously, in terms of value, from copper to silver to gold, and then upwards from there, then essentially, depending on how difficult different things might be.
I'm guessing we're looking for gold. Probably going to be a bit trickier, but
Gold
I think we got
or
this.
trade at the apothecary if they've got any healing potions. Something quick and easy for us to do.
Is there actually a like apothecary like potion seller at Desperatus Junction?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whilst I'm sure we're all going to pick up some whilst we're there, is it worth just asking them, because they're normally quite valuable cargo if they're moving anywhere, and see if we can escort or anything like that, maybe?
Yeah, I think
Keenan can arrange a discount as part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely worth asking. I think Nim will do like a quick scan of the board and be like, is there anything that's talking like the reward is apothecary stuff like already? And then she'll also look for any kind of like high value things that are potentially difficult but also like short term. So she wants something that's going to take them like maybe a couple days rather than like 3 weeks.
We are gonna go around the table, and Nim, will start with you. Roll me a percentile dice.
Percentile dice.
Yes, percentile dice.
81.
81. There is one. There's a listing from an apothecary that says that they are looking for someone to gather some quite rare, hard to find cave moss from a flooded quarry tunnel to the north. The reward is 20 gold, and obviously would get you in good with said apothecary. Anyone else want to look for one?
I'll go. Whee. That's a 98.
Okay.
Wow.
Are you looking at the job board in general, or are you looking specifically for the apothecary stuff?
Zephyr is looking for the thing that's got the highest like money reward return.
What was the number?
Right.
98.
Yes. There has been reports, and you can see this has been placed. And I would say, just not to, obviously, this is not something we like to do, but taking a little bit of Zephyr's control. There's something that catches your eye, and again, this is talking about your homeland. There has been a notice placed by a flit dancer about armed raiders that have been attacking the trade routes to the south nightly, and it's very close. It's only about 3 hours away from Desperatus Junction, and the reward is 365 gold.
Ooh. That's a decent amount of gold.
It is a decent amount of gold.
And the reason I say that is, and I keep mentioning the flip dances, I've got a sense over the time we've been playing that Zephyr obviously now can fly, but there was always that sort of want to be able to do it. Like, there's like something so very natural and akin to her as a person that flight, obviously resonating with air and storms and things like that, the flit dancers can fly. And I would say that because you see a lot of them a lot of the time, that maybe as a younger child or teenager, there was always that aspiration to like look up and be like, wow, they can fly, that's cool. So yes, that one, 365 gold for some heavily armed raiders, essentially. And it does not specify whether or not they have to be living or dead. They just have to be dealt with.
Fair enough.
Excellent.
I like that one, Zephyr, because potentially the raiders may have valuable stuff on
That
them.
is
or
true.
stuff we can
That
sell.
is very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next? There are still 2 more people.
Sure.
And give me a
I will
vibe for
go.
what you're looking for. Sort of
So 35. I think I'd probably be looking for like
35.
any like hunting stuff I could do alongside with traveling.
Unfortunately, the ones that you sort of look towards are a lot of like 1 to 2 gold rewards. You do see one that talks about finding a lost herd and recovering an escaped racing horse. Roll me a d12 for me.
6.
6. Okay. And Keenan.
So Keenan will look for anyone that's thrown a party and needs a bard,
Okay.
or a tavern that needs entertainment for the evening, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my percentile is 82.
We're rolling well on these.
Okay. 82. Lot of scrolling. 82. Okay, that gives you... Bum. Nim, what are you doing? I can hear everything. Very loud.
Sorry.
There is... Okay, so now that we have everyone's roles, I'm going to explain how it works. If you guys want to spend a little bit of time doing these jobs, you can either focus, because all of these need to be done within the next few days. You can either spend your time as a group going to sort out this specific job, and it would be a group check, so there would be a little bit more advantage to your roles. So essentially, we're not going to role play the job. Obviously, we would do a little bit, but we're not going to do a full sessions of what these jobs are. We're going to do skill checks, and this will be what you guys are getting up to in the next day or so, doing these specific skills. So, Keenan, there are a couple of various different entertainment arrangement side of things, because I had a feeling you were going to ask. There is some evening performance work at the Gilded Stag that will pay 3 gold plus any tips that you receive. There's a Noble Merchants Gathering that is 50 gold plus free food. There is also an open performance night. There's an open mic night at the Gilded Stag as well, and the prize is another 50 gold. 50 gold.
Keenan is very interested in the noble party. He's thinking he may be able to lift a few pockets at the same time.
Oh, we like it.
Ooh, nice.
For Kalanthar, there is a varying different finding. There's escorting some rare animals to a noble's estate for 18 gold. There is finding the lost horse, finding the retrieving a herd from a nearby plains, as well as some local poachers. And in total, if you were to do all of those, it would be 125 gold.
Okay.
Nim, as well as the cave moss, there are some more gathering side of things. There are some what's the word? There are some cave worms that she needs the toxins from. That would be another 50 gold. And obviously get you in good with her in particular. And obviously, Zephyr, you have fixed your eyes upon probably the most expensive job in this place, which are the raiders. All of these jobs need to be completed, so you can either do them separately and potentially get more money, but there is obviously a larger potential for failure. Or you can pick some to do in pairs, or you can pick one to do as a group.
We've got to do the heavily armored stuff together, right?
It's not specific as to. It just says that they're heavily armored. You would guess because Flit Dancers have posted it, it would be a little bit more difficult. Zephyr's pretty powerful. She is pretty powerful.
You're gonna want
If you basically, if you were to do all of that together, it would be 365 gold flat. Obviously, greater chance that you succeed. So potentially, that would be money in the bank. If you were all to do the job separately, there is a potential that you would earn more money. But again, larger potential for failure because you are on your own.
I do the noble party on my own, but pair up with Zephyr on the raiders.
On the raiders, I will say
Just
yes.
to, like, back her
I will
up.
say yes, and that's 50 gold.
Because I'm only going to do the one night.
Yep.
Or the one party.
I think Nim would want to help with the raiders, but would also be like, someone definitely should do the that is a word I cannot say. Because they're
Apothecary.
the hurt people.
Yeah, the
Chemist.
hurt people.
The hurt people.
The drug
To
lady.
get on their good side. And it sounds like they're both cave-based, so potentially the same place to get the worms and
No,
the
so the
from.
raiders are to the south.
No,
For the cave stuff, yes, they
the-
are both to the north.
The cave stuff. Okay, cool. So both of these.
Is like any of my jobs close to that cave that Nim's working on, or are they?
No, yours are all further. Yours back towards where you came from. Funnily enough, all further west.
Alright. Okay. What is it? So, with mine being all to the west, I can't really. If I was going to do any of those, so that the delivering Lost Horse and all that, I couldn't do any of those and help someone else. It would be just do those.
No, so essentially, some of these jobs will take you a day's travel. Some of these will be a few hours. The raiders specifically are south. Yours are west. Nim's is north, and Keenan's are in the town. So the only person who would be able to pull off adding to Zephyr's and also doing their own is Keenan, because he's only doing one evening. But again, like I said, with everyone going off in different directions, you will earn a lot more money. So, yeah.
Okay. Alright, I guess we'll. If you guys are okay doing the interception one, we can work on the other ones and get a bit more
Yeah, I mean, would you guys be okay with that? Do you want all of us to go, or do we want to split up?
I mean,
Yeah.
as reluctant as I am to split up, I feel like we it's our best chance. It's our best.
Yeah. I'm just obviously with the jobs that we've got, you two going to the raiders are the only people who are in obvious danger. So I want to make sure you two are okay going off into definite danger with
I'm
only
okay
half
with
of
it.
us.
We'll make a plan to keep ourselves safe.
Yeah. If things start to go south or anything for whatever reason, like our safety is more important. Like we'll
We'll bug out. I'll turn Zephyr invisible so she can run away, and then I'll hide and run away.
Okay.
Just out of interest, with the posting for the delivering to the nobles, the exotic animals one, does it list who actually posted it and who's requesting it? So I can ask the others if they.
There's
might
various
need it.
different names on them. Yours, I'd say there's about 8 of them, and they total up to 125 gold.
Is there any of note that the others might know about?
I wouldn't say so. No. Funnily enough, none of you are from the West, ironically, even though you all met there.
Would there?
I would say no.
Just thinking back, Callum met Holly in that Tazazrael a bit towards the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Would she have mentioned anything that might have been a note back in the day, or just trying to think if there's any rhyme or reason that you might pick the noble over anything else?
No.
Okay,
No.
cool. Right. Together's in favor either way.
Oh, Zephyr, Nim, waves at Zephyr and is like, I've had this in my pack for ages. I've never really used it, but maybe one of you two could make some use out of it with the raiders. And she throws over the potion of hill giant strength.
Okay.
And
thank you.
I don't really know what it does, but other than make you stronger, but maybe one of you can use it to punch people. I don't know, but it might help.
Yeah.
But Zephyr is the muscle, so I'll let you hold on to it.
I mean, not the physical muscle. It's more of a throw air at people, lightning at people.
She's the Avatar.
And Zephyr goes, oh, thank you. Are you sure you don't need this?
I now have that thing I can do that makes me stronger. I really don't need this.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to use it in this fight, but
No, but
somebody
yeah.
other than me should probably have this.
No, it makes sense.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
With spell wrought tattoo, can I do that on anyone, or is it just myself?
I think
So it doesn't state in the thing if it's self or it says you create a tattoo of a spell that you know.
it can be anyone. In terms of spells, it should be something that they are able to cast. So I think you'd have difficulty because you don't know the spell, putting it on someone else to give, unless you both share the same spell.
No, I'm saying it a spell that I know I can put on someone else, right? Is that how it works?
Yes, but I'm not sure if they can activate it.
I was thinking for like Keenan, for example, if I tattooed the Cure Wounds thing on him, he could use it, right? Because he has access to Cure Wounds. Because I'm not really going to need spell slots for what I'm doing, what I'm thinking.
Not to throw a spanner in the works, but Keenan doesn't have access to Cure Wound. Yes, he does. Sorry, he's not got it prepared.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you've used it before. but
I
not sure
would-
if you
I
have it
would
prepared.
Healing
I would
word I've
say-
used.
I would specify it's the same as spell scrolls, that you would need to be able to use that discipline of magic. So if you don't have to have it prepared, you just need to be able to do it.
Okay.
So Cure Wounds is one, because he could do it if he picked it.
I'll just go over to Keenan and say, like, do you like a extra helping hand just in case?
Yeah.
You'll pull
Tramp
out, like,
stamp.
a quill.
Hell yeah.
You pull out like a little quill and some ink, and he'll like just tattoo like a sort of like the hearts have like the whispering like edge, like italic edge to it. He'll like put one of them just on the side of his neck. And just
Nice.
say you can touch
Gangster.
that if you get hurt.
Oh, Keenan has a neck tattoo.
Put it on his chest. He's
I
got his
don't think
boots out once.
Wow,
just
Keenan.
just put like a massive heart on his chest. It just has Kozar written in the middle.
Hell yeah.
We'll do that.
Keenan like goes home with a tattoo. He's like, wow, prison changed you.
With that, Keenan actually hugs Callan and says, "Like, be safe on your journey, and we'll all meet back here."
Well, unless I get really unlucky and one of the animals tries to maul me, I think I'll be fine.
And then he turns to hug Nim.
Nim hugs you back.
With the Steel Defender, if I instruct it to go along with them to help, can it actually do anything? Because, like, if I'm not there to instruct it, does it just take the dodge action?
Yeah, no, it wouldn't. It would be able to alert them. That's about it.
Okay. I'll bring the Steel Defender with me then.
Probably best. Okay. We'll start with you, Kalanthar. You go west, out onto sort of the long stretches of grass and plains and rolling hills that you've become very accustomed to. And after a while, the sort of noise of the crossroads fades away. A couple of hours in, just creaking saddle, insects. See the distant cry of birds and stuff overhead. And you come accustomed to ranch land, just fenced, unevenly old timber posts and some stone walls. You pass herds of different, like, longhorn cattle. And coming across, we will start with your checks. We will see how well this goes. Let's go to calendar.
You got this, Callan.
This is to
That one ain't
track
coming.
track the missing animals. So I need I need you to tell me what sort of thing that you are doing to try and track these animals.
Could I? Trying to think what would be the best.
So you've realised
Yeah.
you've come upon roughly the area that they have gone missing.
Mhm.
You're here. What's the first thing you do?
I think the first thing would be to climb up into like a tree and just look
Okay.
around, see if I can see any signs of them.
Okay, make me a perception check. With your owl eyes. Woohoo!
Oh, thank God.
Woohoo!
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. On a
Thank God
dirty
for my-
20, you can see a series of hoof prints you can see what appear to be the remnants of rope and sort of the strands of one that maybe had broken off. Very much able to tell the direction that they went in. You also, on that high roll, become very aware of other hoof prints that seem to navigate around them, and this series of this herd that's gone missing seems to have been cajoled out of their pen, and you begin to sort of follow your way down them. You do find a good portion of them, and sort of you are able to nudge them back the right way, but there are still some missing, so we will need you to make me an animal handling.
Ooh, still pretty good. Ooh, rolling high for one. Thank God. 26.
26. Yeah, you sort of calm some of the other frightened cattle, get them back the way they came. And the last one I need to make me is a survival or investigation, as you are trying to identify who or what has done this. 19. So that is a full success on the first phase. As you, obviously, with all of this information, become very much aware that poachers are indeed what you're looking for. And on that, as you succeeded the first one, you can tell exactly where they're camped. And as you come up closer, you can see that there is alongside some of the cattle that they have stolen, there is a very beautiful looking dappled grey horse that matches the same of another job that you've taken. So both the dappled horse and the cattle are on your list, and you can sort of see the camp in which these poachers are staying in. Can you make me a stealth check? Oh, I get to roll on this one.
That's 27.
Yes!
Yeah.
The camera sort of pans around, like looking at the poacher's camp and around and up, and perched in a tree, very much mimicking a Keenan pose of like a Spider-Man, like one hand down. You can see sort of the hooded, feathered cloak, like blowing in the wind ever so slightly, and just the glinting eyes of you. What is your method for getting this livestock back? Are you going to fight them, and are you going to ambush them? Are you going to try and scare them off? Are you going to try and negotiate with them? Or another option is obviously to try and free the animals without them noticing. But I'll leave that up to you. What would be your approach now that you have this vantage point? I would say there's maybe 8 or 9.
8 or 9.
Yeah.
I think I'll try and do it sneakily in that case.
Yeah, I will say that they are civilians. They are just generic. We're not talking about like guards or soldiers or stuff like that.
So
these are people. You can see that they're armed, but these are people that.
Are we thinking
like back at level 2, you would have had a problem with, but you are not level 2. If we're talking about above table stuff, you are very capable of fighting them. This will still be skill checks, so it's the method that you're going to use. It would either be attack rolls, intimidation checks, persuasion checks, stealth checks, and animal handling. Very much like, what methods are you going along to try and pick them off? But you can still do it stealthily if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, so I think I'll go for the ambush route, but what I'll do is the steel defender's like under the tree from me, so I'll get it to I'll instruct it to, as soon as someone starts running away that I can't get to tackle them. And what I'll do is I'll wait over the top and wait till I see like the guy who's on patrol whilst the others are asleep, and I'll just loose an arrow into his neck and then just work my way around and then walk into I'll climb down the tree after I've picked off the guards, and then the gauntlet blade the other guys and get the horses.
Okay, okay. So what we're gonna do is I need you to make me make me 3 attack rolls.
Mhm.
1 with your bow and 2 with your gauntlet blade.
So that's a 15 to hit.
Okay, that's a success.
Do you do the damage as well? Or...
Nope.
Okay. Gauntlet blade. 7. So it's a nat 1 for the second.
Okay.
And then a 18 for this third one.
Okay. Can you also make me an intimidation check?
+0. Oh, nat 20 on a +0. Come on.
Okay. And a stealth check as well.
Let's see. That's 26.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. It is very for everyone. Is very, as we watch this happen, is very much like a scene from Batman. It is, you watch the leader sort of boasting around, pointing at the horse. He seems to be clamoring that he is the greatest thief in the land. Immediately, speared through the neck, begins gurgling with blood as an arrow out of nowhere kills him outright. You see a couple of the others begin to scramble back, looking around, drawing swords, one of them holding a crossbow, and as he backs out of the firelight, you watch as Keenan's hand just come around, gauntlet blade in the neck, drag him back into the bushes. The second one he tries to get sort of misses, hits into the tree, and then draws a dagger and stabs him as he reappears the other side of the campfire. And for the last one, as they all begin to sort of scramble backwards towards the firelight, thinking it would save them, you watch as him and the still defender walk out of this shaded grove and just begin like approaching them. And that is where we will leave you for the minute. That is a success. And I will describe what the others see on your way back. Moving over to Nemessa, my dear.
Yes.
You know that both your cave moss comes from a flooded limestone cavern to the north, as well as the cave worms. You need some venom sacs from them. They're sort of large tunnel reptiles, essentially. Funnily enough, although they're called cave worms, they have legs. They're essentially just really long lizards. So you, it's been about, I'd say, half a day's ride northwards towards sort of the sloping, smaller mountains, the beginning of the Hailfollow Peaks. Come upon some caverns that you can see little black spots in the higher up portions of this rock. You know that, there's possible flooded tunnels, cave-ins, maybe even exhaustion if you get trapped. What is your first approach as you begin to approach a cavern that is before you?
I guess the first thing that she would do was kind of like scope out the cavern, I guess, to see, like, she's assessing, is there any like loose rocks? Is there anything that is like water dripping from somewhere? Like, where's the best like place to put her footing? She would like to assess from the outside before she enters.
Okay. Yeah, sort of sheathing your glaive so that you can hold your shield. You will have advantage on this, but can you make me a perception check as you have your sentinel shield with you?
Yes. That is an 18.
18. Yeah, very able for you to identify what looks like to be the most stable in terms of the rock surface. There is a little bit of moisture. There's a little bit of moisture and water and stuff in this one, but you would guess maybe not so much as some of the others. and begin sort of heading in. Can you make me another? Can you make me a survival and a nature check?
Yes, so I'll do survival first. Survival is a 10.
Okay.
And then nature, that's a 4.
Okay. You rightly pick one of the caves that will not collapse, and making your way in, about 3 hours go by, and you realize that you are lost in this network of caverns. In addition to that, you also got accosted by a series of bats, some of which took some of your supplies with them, as just carrying them off, and wandering around in this space. Unfortunately, that is a failure on navigating the caverns. You do, however, begin to come aware of some sort of weird clicking, rolling, reverberating like sounds, and realize that you have stumbled across the worm, the cave worm nest as you're looking around. Can you make me? Can you tell me what your approach is as you recognize that some of them are not here and one of them is asleep?
From the information she got, on the notice, does it say like whereabouts in the body these venom sacs are?
They are collected from the glands in the roof of their mouth.
Okay, then she will, assuming that this is like a relatively small space, she will use her hand axe. She'll get a hand axe out, and kind of basically she's trying to sneak up on the one that's asleep, and she would be aiming for like middle of the back to try and like kill it, basically. So she's trying to avoid the head so that she doesn't like burst the sacs that she needs.
Okay. Can you make me a stealth check to not wake it up?
I can. It's still a disadvantage, so this is going to be
It
But
is.
you're training.
So that's 5.
Okay. Okay. Can you also make me an animal handling and then your attack roll?
Yes. So animal handling is 11.
Okay.
I need a better dice than that. And then attack roll for the hand axe is, how is this possible? Is 13.
Okay. Okay. Moving on to Keenan.
Yeah.
You have been, you have sent off your notice and been accepted to a wealthy merchant gathering that is being hosted by Lady Vorst. It appears to be her birthday. She's having an outside gathering with a little stage, and you are due for your opening performance right about now. What are we doing for your opening performance?
Hey. Opening performance. The idea's just coming to my head. Keenan is going to do a Marilyn Monroe happy birthday,
Amazing.
Lady Voice in a husky voice.
Okay. Make me a performance and a persuasion. So obviously your performance is for how well your music goes, and your persuasion is obviously how well you can flirt.
Okay, so performance was 27.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Persuasion is a 22.
22. Immediate applause. Like, he's not even halfway through the song. Everyone's up, getting ready. There's a couple of people that are sort of eyeing him up. A little thirst in amongst the crowd. The nobles are relaxed. Lady Vorst is very happy. And after the opening performance, which was a rousing success, there is obviously the dinner, sort of long, not long, sort of set out round tables where everyone's sitting around talking, very much like a wedding, and you are to play and roam amongst and charm whoever you would like. Also gives you an opportunity to perhaps relieve some people of their valuables, if that's what you wanted to do. But yes, what is your approach in this sort of scene?
So my approach would be to shift into like a soulful ballad lounge singer style. So wandering around, flirting with all manner of guests. I will eye up to see who I think has had a little bit more to drink, or like I likely mark. Sit on their lap, play with their hair while also trying to pick their pocket.
Okay. So the first one is your performance roll will carry over, so it's a success. So the first one is actually an insight check, and this is to look at who would be an easy mark for you to get a little extra coin on the side.
So that's a 9. Does that fail? Because I have a
9
trick
is a
up my
fail,
sleeve.
yes.
So I bolstered knack,
Okay.
which brings it up to a 15. So I
That
rolled
is a
6.
success. Yes. Jesus. So yeah, you pick out a sort of jolly-looking man, very luxurious, decadent, very gluttonous. Obviously, he's very fat. A lot of gold. Seems to be spilling things all over the place. And does take a little bit of a shine to you as you sort of tumble into his lap. There's a little bit of you that's like, I might have just sat in gravy, but you relieve him of some of his jewelry, shall we say, and his coin purse. So you can, I will note down some additional gold, as well as a bracelet. So you have an additional coin purse with 100 gold in it, as well as a pure silver bracelet. Which you would obviously need to find someone to fence.
Fence elsewhere, yeah. Cool. So I will just kind of like tap him on the nose with my index finger, very kind of like seductively, and then get up and then carry on working the party.
Okay. Can you make me blah blah blah? So that is a success. Can you make me another persuasion check and a perception check?
So persuasion is a dirty 20.
Yep. Man, you're in your element here. Fucking hell.
You just asked me to do a perception.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because you're blinded.
Okay,
By the
so
light.
11.
That is a fail.
No, sorry, 13.
That is a success. Yeah, you see that there's a little bit of rivalry between some of the merchants, very much snobby terms of rivalry. You're not sure if there's anything deeper beneath it. There definitely seems to be a lot of trade politics, even at this person's birthday. The crossroads being a melting pot of cultures, much like Tazisraela, it's also a melting pot of kingdoms. So you're seeing a lot of merchants from different kingdoms that don't like each other, because obviously someone who's a tremendous merchant in one realm trying to cut in on your money from a different realm would not be
Mhm.
a good idea. So there's very much sort of like butting heads going on between some of the merchants. But you are successful in your fabulous performance. And
Are there
leaving
any
well,
people there that would,
yes.
can't believe we'll do this, express interest in paying for a
Mhm.
night with Keenan?
Ooh.
Oh.
Yes. Yes, there are many. There are
Um,
many people.
Keenan will go for probably the highest status person, not necessarily the one that's going to pay the most.
Okay.
Um,
Highest
to kind
status
of
person would be ba-ba-bum. Ooh. Make me another insight check. And this is because the specifics of your request is the highest status, not highest wealth.
Yeah.
Because there are two. There is one person who is the highest wealth, and there's another person who's actually highest status, not necessarily concerned about wealth.
Sure. That's a 14.
Okay, I would say, although your mind is on coin, you pick out the fanciest person, thinking that they might be the one that has the money. You pick out a sort of beautifully golden hair, sort of rolling, very vibrant attire. She radiates warmth and aura. Her name is Lady Sunshard, and very much to her name is the image of just radiating light and beauty. You can see that she is an elf as well. She is a high elf of the noble house of Sunshard, and I would reckon that you don't realize it until perhaps halfway through the night that who this person is, and you have probably, I'd say it's about halfway through the night that you recognize why she's so familiar and why you seem to gravitate towards her is because she had been a diplomat to your country maybe once. And there was sort of like some nostalgia in you that was searching for it. But luckily for you, as we're rolling with your very successful night and not doing any other checks for specifics,
Yeah, thanks for that.
you come to understand that she is the head of tourism and cultural exchange for Taz's Rayla. She is the image of the sovereignty of the Shade Light, because where there is shade, there must be light, and that is her. She is charismatic and joyful. She, as she moves, you can see there is like golden, almost like gold leaf in along some parts of her skin, and every now and then when she's flouncing around and tossing her hair, there's like little golden sparkles that sort of shine off of it. Alongside being the tourism and cultural exchange diplomat, she oversees the druids. As you notice, there is lots of imageries, and she has a necklace of flowers and vines. She oversees the druids relating to the Whispering Pines, and as such, the negotiation with the Spirewood. She seems quite nurturing. She seems quite inquisitive. She seems to have some very deep connection to the natural world. Obviously we'll do you guys doing the raiders the next day, but as you come to talk that night, she lets slip that she is due to meet with the Archdruid of the Spirewood in a few weeks, whose name is very recognizable to you, and it's sort of like bam. His name is Barabus, and she's due to meet him at the Shimmering Pools in a few weeks.
Are we not headed to the Shimmering Pools ourselves?
That is where you're heading. She also lets slip that if you were so inclined, that perhaps she would need an additional escort to the city of Tazisraela.
I say that I would be most delighted to escort to the city.
Okay.
I do have some travelling companions already. If she wouldn't mind a bit of extra protection, they're a little uncouth. Some of them a little bit unwashed, but they're good fighters, so she could be
Yes.
very secure.
Perfect. As Emerald says, you are the official escort. Okay. And the next morning, rising early before the dawn even breaks, because you have arranged with Zephyr that you are to meet to track these raiders before they awaken and see if you can catch them by surprise. Zephyr, you are leading your merry band of 2. So how this is going to work is we're going to do the same as the others did, but these will be group checks. So it's up to you whether, Keenan, you want to either roll it yourself and potentially get a success, or give the help action and she will get advantage, depending on which one you want to do.
Just as an aside, as we approach, I will psychically connect with Zephyr.
Very nice.
So we can talk to each other telepathically for the next 4 hours, as long as we're within a mile of each other.
That is perfect. Okay, so the first phase is you come upon the location that was mentioned where the attack was. So much like Kalanthar, you are going to have to figure out ways to try and track where these raiders have either been or gone to.
Okay. So where was the kind of where they end up, where they have to go first? Kind of, were they given like an area
so
to kind of?
it's literally just like a glade that they may have had made camp. You can see the remnants of a campfire, sort of ashen logs, and it's just to the side of the road, much further south of Desbrastis Junction. You can see that there has been some scuffle. You can see a dead horse. The sort of carcass now beginning to rot in the early sun. But aside from that, no one else there.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and say, yeah, Zephyr would try to kind of look around the area. She's not obviously got the same kind of tracking skills that someone like Callan would, but her perception is pretty good.
Yeah, Keenan will just help her, so I'll give you the
Yeah.
advantage.
So
So this
would there be a way that
either investigation or perception, depending on which
okay,
one you want to pick.
perception? I think she would. So not 20.
Nat 20!
Yeah!
Let's go! Okay, so that is technically 2 successes. Okay, so you immediately spot out the pattern that they took for the attack. They waited until night fell and they made the camp. They ambushed them from the shadow of the nearby trees. And they seemed to also be on horses of their own. So it was very much like it was very much a blitzkrieg, immediate run through of all of these people and then just take their stuff. You notice that they didn't stay for too long. They didn't, if they were to be entangled in any form of combat, I would say you're probably using a moment to think to kind of like embellish. And clue as well, which you have access to, but you don't need to mark down that you use it.
I have it as I now have it as a ritual cast as well, which I only found out. I only realized today.
So
Yeah.
you can see the attack patterns is very much like, again, a different side of Batman, just like bloop. You can see footsteps and hoof boots. Yes, hoof boots. It's almost like you're watching it happen again, and you notice that they seem to arc off to the east towards a series of small hidden canyons. and anyone that chased them were pulled into another ambush. So any guards that had followed them were then attacked from their companions, which took a high vantage point with bows or crossbows and killed them outright. And you find a couple of their bodies as you're moving along. Knowing that you begin to know a rough sort of direction of where they're going, can you make me either survival or insight? And this is try and figure out where they went from there, because this was their attack. You're trying to find out where they've gone from from there.
Go with insight.
Okay. And are we helping or are we rolling as well?
I will help.
So you can roll with advantage.
It's an 24.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. I'd say for you, Keenan, it is almost like watching. It's like watching someone almost see things happen rather than just how you're used to doing things, which is like following tracks. And some of like the forest-bound soldiers that you know of from Silthari. This is like someone that knows. She's like walking where they walked, like moving. You see that she almost takes a posture of like a larger man at one point and is like following footsteps. I would say you skip past the middle portion because that is 4 successes technically. And you recognize that you have found their camp. You can see the raiders include some mounted archers on horseback. Someone appeared to be ex-soldiers of Cerelia, very much sort of dented, worn cloaks of very older generations. You can see some very hardened killers. There are some more roguish types that you notice, Keenan, some that have like more knives than are necessary as just for the look. And they seem to have made an encampment in this sort of outcrop of cliff, and their campfires underneath it, and they're all sort of sheltered around. That way you can see a couple of people are posted up on the top. Above them there's some people sort of making patrols around them, and they seem to have made their own sort of encampment out of like remnants of wagons and things like that with spiked wood. As we're approaching, can you both make me a stealth check?
Yay, something I'm really bad at.
Telepathically, I kind of give Zephyr advice, reminding her of the training. Bardic inspiration.
Ooh, okay.
It's not gonna go anyway. What am I adding that again? Is that a
D6.
D6, okay. That's a 13.
Okay. And Keenan?
29.
Jesus Christ. The first thing that happens is that Zephyr, emboldened, sort of caught up in the moment, steps a little too close, and they all notice where she is. But you, Keenan, what have you taken a different position? Because you are like a ghost. You are
I'm
shadows, just like moving in and amongst them.
I'm circling around with the intention of like picking off people like on the outskirts without getting noticed. So I would have gone to the right or left, like whichever's the most likely route, going after lookouts or archers.
Okay.
That
Can you make? So we will separate you now. Can you make me a perception and an attack roll? These will be your checks, and then Zephyr, you notice that they have become very much aware of you, and you watch as you approach the light. Can we help? So what are you looking to do? Are you going to try and talk to them? Are you just going to try and unleash chaos and your magic on them? What do you think you would do in that situation?
I think she'd know that if she's been caught, but her first thought is they probably have only seen me, so draw attention,
Mhm.
Yes.
and see what Keenan will do, and she just like quickly fires off the thought to him of like, I'm going to stall, and basically try and yeah, be as Zephyr as she can, because regardless of what happens, it probably won't go well if she tries to talk to them. So,
Okay.
and obviously releasing chaos is also releasing chaos. So I think, yeah, she'll go with trying to buy time initially of like trying to talk to them, and persuade them, that she yeah, she was just going for a walk, trying to gather some herbs. Yeah.
Okay. Can you make me a deception check? Because that is not true. Yeah. Can you make me a deception check?
That's a 17.
Yes.
Very nice. These raiders need better insight, man. Okay. Yeah, you begin
All
to talk
those
to them.
improv lessons, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keenan, you can sort of in the distance hear a soft-voiced Zephyr. She's lost. She went looking for herbs. She didn't mean to come across them. What did you get for your perception and attack roll?
So perception was a 9.
Okay.
Attack roll was a 24.
Okay. Zephyr, out the corner of your eye, as you are talking to these people, you watch as one of them, seemingly maybe the leader, sort of approaches a little bit closer. You can see his face softens almost tenderly a little bit towards you, thinking that you have gotten lost, and this poor girl out in the woods by herself. And out of the corner of your eye, you watch as the guy posted up above them on the sort of the cliff just drops. Just you see like a flash of like a light, the inside of Keenan's cloak, which is like a light purple with stars. Just a little flash of light, and he is gone. And then the more you're talking to him, you're still kind of like vamping, trying not to break. You can see like two more, again very Kalanthar style, out of the bushes, are gone. You see, as he approaches the last one, the guy turns around, and in that moment, as he goes, "Hey!" like a dagger straight up through the roof of his, through his chin, up through the roof of his mouth. But he does catch the leader's attention, who turns slightly to look. You can see that they all begin to turn and look, and I will let you tell me what you are going to do to subdue these people. As Keenan has taken out probably half of them, what are we doing to subdue the others now that they recognize that they're being attacked?
That is a good question. One moment. What is the...
And I will say, this doesn't necessarily need to, if you are going to cast a spell, it doesn't necessarily need to be any specific spell, because what we are going to do is just make your spell attack or spell save. And that will just be any flavor that you want to describe that Zephyr unleashes in this moment. And it will be one check that I will have to either meet or you can beat.
I kind of imagine like as like she's thinking it's going really well, and they might actually like get away with this despite her like lack of stealth, and then they turn and she's like, oh crap, and her first like instinct is like, how do I make them all just like stop? And she basically attempts to kind of like use thunder wave, like kind of like send out like a like a pulse of like thunder kind of or lightning kind of damage towards them. Basically in the same way that like a person would use like a cattle prod or like a taser, and but like yeah, and just like make them all just kind of stop moving or looking at Keenan.
Okay. So Thunderwave, I believe, is a save. Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will roll their save, and I have to meet a 15, right?
Yes.
Okay. 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 We pick up the next morning as all of you gather back up. You can see not Nim, Kalanthar, you're the first one there. You're sort of sat on your horse in the outskirts of town, roughly south on the southern road, because you know that's where they're coming from, and you sort of anticipate that you want to see how well they've done. As you're sitting there, you a couple of merchants every now and then come up and hand you different coin purses. You see one guy comes in riding a very dappled grey horse, shakes your hand almost a la Beastmaster style, gives you a little bit extra. You have got 145 gold from your exploits, as you have been fully successful in retrieving everything that was asked of you. A soft or loud voice, depending on what she wants, from behind you, and you turn your head to watch a very bedraggled, slightly sodden, covered in dirt Nim is lightly trotting her way on her horse down the street, who is also covered in dirt and does not look like she's had a very good day. Nim, you were successful in gathering some moss, so you have got 20 gold, and the apothecary thanked you very much, saw the state of you and realized that you did try and get some venom, and told you, I'm sure you'll do better next time. So you have got a little bit of respect from her, but she does feel sorry for you. You look exhausted. You're not, obviously, you don't have mechanically exhausted, but you look exhausted, as you did fail a good portion of the skill.
Yeah. Just for a little bit of flavor, I imagine that Nim was like super determined and a little bit stubborn and was like chasing round the caves after these little lizard things for a good couple of hours before she finally like gives in and is like, I'm not catching one. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, and obviously you are now approaching Kalanthar.
Yeah.
So,
She kind of like
how'd it go, Nim?
holds. Yeah. She like holds up the mask and like, I got some mask.
Nice.
These things were a little bit tricksy.
Yeah, they can definitely be a pain in the arse to catch inside their caves. It's like the old fish in a barrel, isn't it? Looking at the moss that Nim's gathered, would I know what it would be used for, out of interest?
Antitoxin.
Okay.
You would guess that the way that nature balances out that the moss is probably an antitoxin for the cave worm toxin.
Mm-hmm. Don't have it anymore. I was going to say, if I still had it, I was going to give her a vial of the Scaverin venom, but I don't have any left.
Yeah,
I was going to give her that to give to the apothecary, but I don't have it anymore.
As the two of you are sort of, Nim's a little bit explaining about what happened, seems a little bit down in the dumps, just a little. Kalenthal looks a little smug, but he's trying to hide it. I don't know how well he can hide it.
Not.
I'll leave that down to him. Not at all.
He's,
you notice,
he's probably
he's
like covered in
glowing a little
blood at
bit.
this point as well. He's probably like got blood everywhere. It's like...
Along the road, trotting along on their horses, you can see slowly coming into view Keenan and Zephyr making their way towards you. They are both covered in blood, much like yourself. Keenan more than Zephyr.
No,
Zephyr has a couple of
we're
like
clean.
splatters.
I've cleaned us
are you
with
gonna
prestidigitation. We are
Very nice.
gleaming, sparkling,
Gleamingly
fresh.
clean. And dragging behind Keenan's horse, attached by a rope, is a man who is still alive and has been for the past 8 hours, slowly being... He was walking at first, but now he's just being dragged. As you have retrieved the leader of the raiders, just in case. And, you know, for points, brownie points. As they begin to explain, as they do approach, begin to explain what happened, we quickly flash back to the scene as sort of loose canvas snapping overhead. You can see the horses are shifting nervously. Zephyr talking to this leader as Keenan, hand clamped across one mouth blade, slides cleanly into his ribs. The next one lowers him down against the stone without a sound, vanishing back into the shadows. A couple more, he just surprise out of nowhere, one across the throat, another one slashing both of his Achilles heels, and they just drop to the floor. Obviously, the last guy saying, and getting the dagger up through the chin. Zephyr, recognizing the leader, turning around, raises her hand, and thunder cracking outwards from her, sort of blue lightning shocking outwards in an expanding pulse, hits the leader, and then crawls violently across the weapons, armor, any exposed skin, joining each of the raiders as they were stood pretty close to each other. As the pulse are ripping through them, you watch they are both thrown backwards slightly, and as they're lying on the floor, you can see their muscles are locked, like in an overwhelming surge. And for you, Keenan, it is a little bit of a moment where you're like, oh, there is a glowing white-blue flash of this lightning, and it sort of blinds you because you have bad sight anyway, for a moment, and then silence, and it's just the sound of people twitching, horses screaming a little bit, and smoke curling from the ground, the scorched mark on the stone. There is no grass on this stone anymore, just like small embers trailing into the sky, and Zephyr is just standing there with a little bit of splatter on her before you clean it up. And stood in front of her, not having been thrown to the ground, the leader is just stuck mid-pose, like, and we switch back to you guys with Keenan dragging the leader of the raiders behind him. Very successful on your mission. I will give it to you guys for a minute as you approach the other two, seeing definitely the difference in their attire. One of them, again, a little bit covered in mud. The other one, looking very smug, very proud of himself. But yeah, you notice that they are carrying a prisoner with them.
So as we approach, I don't look at her, but I hold my fist out to fist bump Zephyr. In like that cool bro way that we're just both looking forward, but like we're super cool.
It takes Zephyr like a moment of like confusion of like what is happening, and then she like quickly returns it.
So mission success. I also got us another job on the way to the Spywood. We've got someone to escort, if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, definitely.
She actually, and he kind of lowers his voice, is going to meet Barabbas.
Oh.
Don't tell her
goes to
you know,
sleep.
like we know him, but
Oh no. He knows we're on our way anyway. So. I'll keep it shtuk.
and I
Word for it.
download all the information I've gathered from her to the rest of them, so
Very
everyone's up to
nice.
date.
Yeah. You notice one of the town guards for Desperados Junction approaches, seeing you have a person wrapped in rope tied behind your horse. Sort of approaches you, Keenan. Do we have a problem here? Is this...
Oh no, not at all. Bandit, the one that's been, well, the leader of the ones that have been causing hassle around, and I refer to the job and offer him like the rope that's tied to the leader.
Oh, fantastic. Let me just, they told me what to do about this. You see, like, scratches his head, and then, like, realizes what he's meant to do, and you notice that, on him, he's wearing a quiver, and, like, pulls his bow from his shoulder, pulls out an arrow. As he pulls it, Callan thought, there's something that looks very familiar. It's definitely something you've seen in Cardunor. It's like it's less so much the arrowhead is less so much built to pierce flesh. It is almost a diamond, 3D diamond shape of metal with runes inscripted on it, and he sort of arcs it into the sky and fires up. And as it does, you see a shocking streak of light. This beautiful, bright silvery light shoots up into the air and is about 300 feet upwards. As you recognize, he has an enchanted arrow. Recognizing that was what he was meant to do, shoots that up into the sky, and then like pauses, looks at you, and he's like, "Oh, sorry. It'll be just a minute." And then like is looking up in the air.
As he says that, you just see Callan just you like completely zones out for a second, and he just goes, "Could I have a look at that? That was really cool." And he's like,
sure. And then he, takes
he's
out
like
another
holding
arrow.
he's like pulls out the
Yes,
notebook and just starts sketching it like crazy.
Cool.
He's like, I gotta do that.
I think he wouldn't mind if you kept that one, Callan.
What, the one that's in the sky, Keenan, or
the one that he's just handed to you to have a look at? And I'm trying to persuade the guard to let Callan keep the arrow.
Okay, make me a perception check. Persuasion check, sorry.
Yeah, for strong heroes like us, that's a 17.
17. Give me a minute. 17, sort of like, yeah, okay.
There you go. You can keep that one to examine, and at a later stage, you don't have to sketch it all now, Callan.
you just see him like kid in a toy shop right now, just like looking at it, just like inspecting the runes, and he just like tucks it in his like inside this little quiver under his cloak.
Zephyr, there is a tingling on the back of your neck of immediate danger. And as you feel that and quickly look around in panic, and your eyes follow the guard up, the crowds in the street part a little bit as a shadow passes overhead. And you notice the guard, even him, sort of like flinches back a bit. And you understand why, as circling over the district before landing like in a smashing mound of dust beside all of you is massive feathered wings slowly folding inward from behind her. You see white tipped with streaks of deep brown along the feathers. They are broad enough to cast shadows across the sunlight that casts across this town, and they sort of pull inwards. And you can see a woman wearing very polished cerulean armor, it's marked in silver and blue, and you can see that the dust over it suggests that they've probably flown for quite some time. Maybe they do patrols a lot of the time. You can see she's wearing a helmet, this beautifully filigreed elven style helmet, and pulls it off. And you can see she's very sharp-featured, dark bronze skin, black hair braided tightly behind her head to not move around when she's flying. You are staring at a flit dancer. You can see that there is a series of swords that are strapped to their legs rather than any portion of their torso, so that they can move perfectly in flight. Armor, helm. She sort of looks at you, nods her head in recognition of... You would guess, without an active check, you would guess maybe she thinks you're a Genasi. Sort of nods her head. Looks at you, Keenan. Captain Soraya then. It's nice to meet you. I believe you have... That's the wrong accent. I believe you have someone of mine.
Oh, yeah. Pleasure to meet you. And he offers her the rope now.
Yeah, she takes it, tugs him, he falls a little bit to his knees, just begins muttering softly, and she sort of like almost growls at him a little, and he's like, oh shit. And you watch as she moves her hand. Nothing about her seems anything magical other than her wings. And I would say, Kalanthar, can you make me an intelligence roll?
That's 5.
A 5. Okay. You don't recognize anything about it. I would say Zephyr would be a little bit aware of this. Flit dancers aren't necessarily casters in much of a sense. They are warriors. They're very much more like Nim side of things, and Keenan, in that they are... Although Keenan casts a lot of spells. More like Nim, in that they are like martially fighters. There's not too much magic about her. So whilst she doesn't do anything to like hold a purse in him, it's just the fear that he has in just seeing her. He is just frozen. He is not going to move. And she doesn't even need to hold the rope. She sort of just like loosely has it in her grip as she's looking at the rest of you. Do you have a name?
Us or him?
Yes. I need a name for the report.
Oh, we are Keenan's crew.
Inventive. I would come to understand that you are Keenan.
Yes, pleasure.
Okay. It's nice to see someone from home. And she looks at Zephyr.
Zephyr doesn't try to like hide, but she does like also kind of feel the almost like the power of like this, like just the look at her, and kind of keeps her eyes lowered, and just says, it's good to be back.
You did a good thing. We have been after these for some time. They have been camping in places that aren't available to aerial surveillance. Again, I lost the accent. Never mind. You see she grabs the leader by the jaw, picks him up off the ground, pulling him to her. You have caused an incredible amount of paperwork. You can see some of the guards like laugh a little nervously. Well, she gives you the coin purse, Keenan, and sort of as she hands it to you, then motions for you to like move back a little bit.
Which I do.
Yeah, and then it's just like a massive pulse of air. It's a little bit reminiscent of what had happened the day before, as just a pulse of air and the wings ignite her off just from the sheer wingspan, and she disappears with him sharply grabbed around the jaw. And they are gone. But yes, 365 gold as promised to Keenan. As well as your 50 gold that you are paid for your merchant knight. On top of what you stole.
Did we, and I feel like they would have, find anything interesting on any of the
On the raiders?
Yes.
Make me an investigation check.
I would have
Would I have
helped
helped?
you
Would have I,
search
yeah,
them.
would have
So
I gotten a help action from Keenan?
I would assume so.
Yep. Right. Because an investigation. Let's try that again. That's 22.
Let me find out. Let's do this level 7. Damn. Yes, I would say that you find a good portion of the items that they had stolen, so it's up to you whether or not you want to give them back. The total about 220 gold, as well as an additional 100 from just a coin purse, which you can probably keep.
So the items that they'd stolen, were they? Did they seem like these were the items from the flip dances? Yes.
No,
Like
these are the items from the merchants that they
from the
thieved
merchants.
from. Yes.
What kind of items?
There is some silver jewelry. There's some what appear to be bags of material. You guess maybe like as you look inside it, there's some silk and some textile feeling ones. As well as a couple of just standard gems.
Yeah, I feel like Zephyr would probably have given those back. Yeah, in an attempt to kind of more like partially like because she feels bad, obviously having come from a merchant background herself, but also the theory of like if we return these to the merchants, maybe to curry favor with said merchants, and yeah.
Funnily enough, it would have been a little difficult to offload these to anyone else. So you are paid 110 gold, which is half of the value of what you've recovered.
Nice.
So yes, so 210 in total on top of everything that you've already found.
All right. Should we? I'm now like lost of. Yeah, we'll follow up afterwards. I'm lost with now.
I got it. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, and you have completed your stay here at Desperatus Junction. In terms of favor with the apothecary, a little, not a lot. So maybe you'd have 10 gold off anything you purchased, and that's about it. Is there anything else you guys are doing whilst you are still in this lovely little crossroad town? I almost said crossword.
So if you guys want to shop, it's 150 gold each from our jobs, and 25's going into the party kitty.
That's a nice sum. Cool.
Indeed.
Yeah, tidy.
Okay. Then yeah, I think I'm gonna, as much as it's not a lot of favor, I'm my favor with the apothecary and the...
See if she wants this purple paste, Nim.
Oh, okay.
I'll tag along with Nim, so I've got some stuff that I can maybe give. She might be interested in as well.
Okay. As you make your way over to the apothecary, it is just a very simple-looking building. Sort of herbs dangling outside. It's very generic. There's nothing too untoward or different about it. Just seems to fulfill the need for what an apothecary does. You can see it's run by he's not even old. It's very much a thing you've come to expect from some form of alchemist or apothecary, that they are always old. But it's just a guy, just a human man in his 30s, very just standard. You can see
Just a
that
guy.
he's just a guy. But yeah, what would you be looking to purchase or talk to him about?
I'm looking for obviously some healing potions, but also to ask if he basically ask about the potions of fire resistance. Like, does he know about them? Does he have any?
He does he have any? That's a good question. He does. He does have potions of fire resistance. Yes.
How much are they?
They are between 50 and 200. So it is. Uh, 100 and... Nope, that's wrong. I can't do maths. 210 gold.
210. Okay. I think Nim would buy... Yeah, I think she'd buy 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then a potion of... like a standard potion of healing.
Okay.
Which would be 670 gold.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, calendar.
Yeah, the. Okay. D&D at the end. Right. So it's a full work week if I was going to try and craft a great heal. So how much are the greater healings by themselves? If there's any left?
150 usually.
So I'll get 2 of those. Just... That'll be 300 worth each.
Yep.
And then I'll also pick up the... And how much is the materials? Would it be 50? Is it half the cost of... No, 75, sorry.
75 in
cost?
total, yeah.
Okay, I'll pick up the materials for another 1 plus materials for 3 for the smaller ones.
Okay.
the 75, and then it will be another 50. So that's 5. When I'm doing the math right, 420. 425.
Okay.
I'll also, just to see if it's interesting for her, I will actually I don't actually have enough money for that.
Oh,
I will present the vials that I got from the Time Stop Lake that had like that healing property, and I just wanted to see if she knew anything about them because we never really like there.
Nope.
No,
Very much
nothing
no.
about it.
I would say you'd either have to find a very proficient alchemist, apothecary, or ask someone like a cleric.
Okay.
If only we knew
Nim.
one of those.
Mhm.
An actual
No worries.
cleric.
No, Zephyr would be the first to say she's not a cleric.
I did you give her any of the glob flower stuff, Nim, in the
I
end?
literally
Apple
was
paste.
just about to
Okay.
do that. The
Okay,
blood
go for it.
paste that we have, and well, as Callan's like bringing out the vial, she's like, "Oh shit, yeah." And then brings out the mysterious purple paste and is like, "Is this of any use to you?"
They have no idea what it is.
And I'll just put, because I've got 4 vials of it, I'll literally just like put some like war paint on my face and then just like shield over the top so it starts to glow a little bit.
He looks at it like very confused. Doesn't seem to be anything that would be applicable to his task.
Would he stop like any like blasting powder stuff here, or is it just potion?
No.
Yeah.
Like
No
I said, very generic.
Okay. Couldn't afford to. Right, I'll adjust. That's me done.
Okay. Is there anything you guys do aside from the apothecary, as you recognize that you should probably be moving on?
Keenan's just making arrangements to meet up with the Lady Sunshard
Lady Sunshard.
to escort.
Okay.
Zephyr would have wanted to get some greater healing potions, and also would have should pull out the potion of water breathing that she's had for a while, and ask if there was any interest in purchasing it.
The potion of water breathing. Ooh.
Yes.
No.
No. Oh.
You come to understand that aside from the lake, there's not much in terms of large portions of water, aside from like maybe the rivers. And he would have no way of marketing, essentially, this thing. And also a big portion of people who do work the riverways around the Jasara confluence and Zagra are probably water genasis. So it's like selling air to people who can breathe air. Okay, as you all get to meet the very splendicious Lady Sunshard. She is stunningly beautiful in an elven way, the very classically elven way. She seems to take a little bit of a liking to... Oh, that's funny. A little bit of a liking to Nim and Zephyr. You notice she explains to you, Nim, that she doesn't often have the opportunity to meet tieflings of an infernal nature. And she seems to ask you a great deal of questions that you don't really have the answers to, because you also don't know. And for you, Zephyr, there's distinct curiosity about you in particular. When you first meet, how do you approach her? If you do at all.
I don't know. I feel like, depending on what Keenan's already said, I feel like if instead of like she's of a great importance or great, yeah, I suppose it depends on what Keenan would have said of her already.
Everything that he knows about her. So she's
Yeah.
a diplomat. She's quite important. She's going to meet the head of the druids.
Yeah, I think Zephyr would attempt a curtsy, and yeah, it's not the most graceful of curtsies, but yeah.
Can you make me an insight roll? As you sort of curtsy to her, she replies with a little curtsy of her own, which is unusual because it should be one way. Seems to be, yeah. Tell me your insight roll.
Oh, sorry, one second. Go insight. Insight. Past all my things. Nat 20.
Natural 20. Yeah, it's the there is you can see a curious look in her eye. She seems to look at you a lot. It seems quite observant. You would guess that she might have something beyond the natural perception of just your eyes. And also, it's the way that she curtsies back, as she's a lady. And Keenan, I would say you, without needing to roll insight, ladies don't curtsy back unless they are with equal company.
Uh-oh.
And as you sort of introduce her, blah blah, she curtsies back, but doesn't linger on that a little too long. She then just begins talking to her guard in very like flamboyant arm movements, saying that they have to get on the road sometime soon. If he could hurry up and actually pack up the horses, that would be great. Look at her new escorts, they are ready. Why is he not? And you watch him sheepishly begin to collect himself and his men. As we begin to set off shortly after that, is there anything you guys are talking about? Anything the way you're laying yourselves out? Are we grouping together? Are we separating from each other? Are you talking to anyone? Because you're going to be on the road. This has only been a week. You guys are going to be on the road for a little bit longer, so now's the time to get to know each other or other people.
I think at one point, Nim I'd be like, maybe we disguise you a little bit more as we get closer to your home. And she's gonna like start like looking around, trying to like gather things that we could use to alter her like exact appearance.
Keenan's like, I've got face paints.
Are we doing this like in like that tavern, like away from stuff, or are we just talking about this in the street?
You guys are on the road
On the
now.
road.
There's no stopping you. Yeah.
Okay. As for like discussing that, have we got like a wagon, or are we like all on our own?
So she
horseback?
has a carriage. You guys left your wagon with your other companion and her boyfriend. You left it with Persephone at the tavern, and you guys are all on horseback because it's
Mhm.
easier and quicker.
Are we on our
Wagons can get
horses?
yeah, you've got your horses. Wagons can get stuck, and
Mhm.
with you being an outlander, there was no need to have a ton of supplies with you. So it was just very much like, we'll take our packs, our horse packs, we'll take
Mhm.
the stuff we can sort of carry, or horses can carry, and then we'll just we'll make time.
Cool.
Mhm.
When we eventually make camp on this travel, when you've been discussing about helping with disguise, Callum will kind of like pass back a sketch that he's got, and it's gonna have like a antlered crown, and there'll just be a note under there. I can change how you look slightly, if that helps. And he will like pass it back as they're like riding along. Note style. And it'll be the one I linked in the chat if you're interested. So I have to spend time making it, but I can do it like when we stop.
Talking of disguises, Callan, would you be willing to help me go in a different visage when we hit the town?
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking I may need you to play a role. If you're willing, you can pass for an elf, right?
Yeah.
He can, yeah, very easily.
Um,
Actually, I
so
believe when you
Keenan-
first met, you for a moment confused him for an elf, and then realized he
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah.
So Keenan explains his plan, which is to go into the town as his brother,
Okay.
and Callan is to play the part of his brother's husband.
Okay.
Clever.
And it will mean that we kind of adjust what you look like a little bit.
Mhm.
So instead of an owl,
Mhm.
you look like an eagle.
Okay.
Or a hawk.
Is this
Let me
the
check.
brother that's head of that like elite guard,
Mm-hmm.
the cavalryman or whatever
Yep.
it was? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Because we're going to be wearing masks.
Uh-huh.
Keenan wants to rely on the family resemblance, and he's going to need to bleach his hair.
Okay.
But particularly for you,
Mhm.
it's we want to do the kind of like the what's the word? Coat of arms. Is like a white hawk on a brown background.
Or
That's smart.
guys.
And then he will spend the journey briefing you on as much as he can remember, or as much as he can drill into about House Hawkson that you've married into, that Keenan's brother's married into. You know that you are a cavalry house, so you in charge of a big group of people, and you are terribly, terribly in love. And Keenan's brother is a dumb himbo.
That's the truth.
That you will need to kind of keep an eye on.
Okay. And what's the general vibe of the husband? Is he like the one that keeps him in check, or is he just?
Yeah, he is. He's like a very kind of like sensible military commander man.
Okay.
You know, takes care of business.
Keeps him on a leash. Right. Is there anything else I need to alter about myself to like fit in as this guy, other than like some eagle attire and the
Your
emblem?
tattoos would be an issue.
Okay. that. Cool. Yeah, so I guess that's how we'll spend our like time as we're like riding along, just like giving me the brief, and he's just like taking notes as we go. Is there a specific like mannerism that I should keep for him? Or is it just like stern and forceful sort of
Just
thing?
very sensible, in command of things. I mean, he's not as well known.
Okay.
Yeah, he's known for being a commander, but he doesn't like go gallivanting that much unless it's under, under the protest of Keenan's brother that wants to go out and party.
I love that what he lacks in intelligence, he makes up for in looks. Okay. Anything else as you guys are moving along?
Think of anything?
Okay. As you liking is on a roll tonight, that's not actually my words, that's Cardiff's. Cardiff wrote that. I just know it off by heart because I read it quite a lot. As you continue on the road, just as you come to camp for the night, the road dips into a quite shallow basin along these plains, and at the lowest point, you come upon even Lady Sunshard peeks out of her carriage and goes, "Oh, a very small weathered shrine of 3 statues standing side by side. Each of them glow a little bit. There is one statue who's holding his hands outwards, and there is a little orange glow of firelight. Another one with their hand out, and you can see 3 rotating stones that have been placed here. Seemingly magnetic, perhaps, because they are levitating. And the last one is holding their hand out, and you can see water is rolling off of the hand and into the ground, almost like a fountain. You can see that there would be a 4th stone, and it has been sundered completely. And each one has marked with a small rune along the bottom. Do you want to either roll religion checks yourselves, or you can help someone else?
I will
I have
help.
+3.
Same.
I'd say, Zephyr, you
I
have
did-
advantage.
What did you say? What kind of runes, or
I
like-
have not, no.
do they seem familiar at all in any way
To
or
you,
even like
yes.
reminiscent of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have advantage.
Okay. And sorry, what would that be in?
Religion.
My favorite.
Um,
That was not good. Let's try that again. 14 on Zephyr's end.
is it
Okay.
worth me and Callan also rolling?
So it's either you can roll yourself with no advantage, or someone can help you, and they would forego their roll.
Okay. I'm happy to roll.
Might get a roll.
I got 18.
Okay.
16.
Okay. So this is the first thing that comes to... Keenan, did you roll, or did you help? I don't remember.
I helped.
Okay. This is the first thing that comes to Nim and Callan upon seeing these shrines, is that there is a myth that's tied to these depictions. There's Diza, who is the statue of fire. Gion, who is air. Not air, sorry, who is earth. And Vuza, who is water. And they are meant to be the great disasters of this region. And because they come from the elemental planes, they can't be bound by mortals. And instead, people leave offerings at places like this. They're almost like... not quite deities, they're just a force of nature. And they are in constant conflict with one another, trying to dominate the element. Some say that if all three were destroyed, a fourth one named Iza would be released from beneath the shrine, bringing a long and unnatural night all over the world. That is the belief of this region. That is the religion behind it. It is said that they are children of Zephyrix. For you, Zephyr, although you didn't meet the religion check to know this story, you recognize that the fourth statue was broken a very long time ago. These things are very old, maybe before the belief was even a set myth. And that fourth statue would be the statue of air, and it's probably a representation of the elemental planes. And you would guess that the myth behind the Shrine of Air being the one to bring eternal night might be slightly different from just a myth. Yeah, so essentially, you're looking at a belief that has been formed from a different reason, and essentially just what you're witnessing is the passing of time in relation to religion. In that now, whomever these statues might have been in the past, maybe even they were just representatives of the warriors of each kingdom, are now sort of intertwined with this fake story that is part of a sort of crucial belief of some of these people that live in this region. As you guys are looking at it, Zephyr, the sort of touching paranoia, shall we call it, you watch as Lady Sunshard walks past and a beautiful little white flower grows at the base of the fallen statue. And she just kind of looks at it a little bit and just keeps going. As you're setting up camp near to this shrine, is there anything you guys are doing now that you're just available to roam around?
I think that Zephyr, trying to think who, I think Zephyr would talk to Keenan and ask to like kind of try and slip him some sort of message, just to be like, I want to talk.
You guys have earrings, remember?
Privately. Okay, yeah. But I feel like it's quite obvious if they're just like sat around using their like.
Yeah, just like hello.
Like, yes, yeah.
So-
So I feel like she would.
Does Keenan get the impression you just want to talk to him, or if you would prefer talking to all of us at the same time but privately?
I think he would just get the impression that she wants to talk away from like anyone outside the party.
Got you.
Yeah.
He will connect everyone then with his new psychic abilities, so we can all talk telepathically,
Okay.
Very cool.
and that will be for the next 2 hours.
Zephyr will. Yeah, so once they're all kind of connected, she kind of looks around. She's definitely got a touch of that paranoia now. And she just says like, "What? How do we feel about our current traveling companions, especially the lady that walks among us?"
Oh, she's good in bed.
That was not what I.
Yeah.
You know what? That was on me. That yeah.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, that's your
Well,
Um,
fault.
I mean,
I-
she paid well for it as well.
She did.
She seems to. I don't know. I feel like I get this a little bit of a weird vibe from her. But that could be me. Like, that could be on me, guys. But I do get a vibe.
To be fair, she is an elf.
Yeah, we haven't exactly got the best track record, definitely.
I mean, speak for yourself. But I don't know. I just she curtsied back, and I just I have a bad feeling about her, and I get the feeling she knows who I am, or at
I
least who I know related.
or she may
from
suspect
it.
who you are. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty telltale sign that
That
she recognizes you as royal of some sort.
that's kind of why I thought we should disguise you a little bit more and like start gathering that. Just, I mean, if we're not even there yet and someone recognizing you, then
Yeah.
yeah.
Just
She's been nice enough so far, but if she, raises her hand against you, we just murder her.
It's also a little bit sus that a diplomat doesn't have her own escort to begin with.
She does.
She does. We
She
just
does.
Oh, she does.
kind of joined up.
We just placed it?
No, you're just additional.
No,
Oh, additional. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the
She has a
general
lot of
vibe
money.
from the?
Basically,
Yeah.
she has a lot of. As soon as she took a liking to Keenan, she was like, "I'll pay for your
Yeah.
friends to come along. It's fine."
Yeah.
she's richer than Keenan.
She is richer
Damn.
than Keenan.
Like
She rich,
she would be the equivalent of Keenan's mum.
Oh, okay. What's the general vibe we're getting from the other guys? Are they like soul sword? Are they like?
Make me an insight check. Because I don't think you would have a frame of reference for what mercenaries look like in this land.
No.
So you'd have to go on the vibe of how they act rather than
Yeah.
how they are.
Yeah. So it's an 8. So probably. Okay.
They're wearing emblems of her house, so
Mhm.
they are probably her guards. That's what you get.
They've
Whether or
given
not
us
they're
a sense
hired or
of.
not, you have no idea.
I was going to say, like, with our track record in Cardinal, doesn't really help us if they're wearing armor of the guard, does it? Let's be fair.
Yeah, that's true. That is
Yeah.
true. Yeah. Okay.
I think
yeah. I just
Callan, Barabbas knows her, so maybe when we meet up, he could give you a bit of a pointer.
Okay. Yeah. That's one thing I actually meant to ask whilst we're in Desperados Junction, but I forgot was if I had a response from Barabbas. If there's a
No.
male place there.
No.
Right. Yeah, so all we can really do is just keep an eye out, right? Like, we're kind of stuck with her at this point, even if we don't trust her. Which is a
Mhm.
quest.
Yeah.
I say we keep our own guard
Mhm.
alongside hers through the night, so we don't all sleep at the same time, just in case.
Right. Yeah,
I just,
I'm good with that.
I just thought of something I could do. Do you guys want me to try and pry whilst she sleeps?
Oh, that's so
She-
smart.
Except she won't sleep, she'll just sit and meditate for
But
4 hours.
how does that work with elves? Do they, if they're in meditative state, would it still
Well,
work?
they still dream. They still dream when they meditate.
Yeah.
They consider it visions, so they don't actually call it dreaming, but they're dreaming.
Would she
Yeah,
be
Keenan
able to-
doesn't think that they're dreaming, but
Yeah.
Would she be able to see you, like, you know, when you help me go and visit with Sonara?
It's It's
can-
possible, but I could. The dreaming, I can probably shift how I look slightly. I could probably take on
Okay.
a certain friend of mine, my winged friend's appearance shrunk down. Maybe I don't
you
know
could
the
pretend to be an owl,
limitations
I
of it.
reckon.
Yeah. So I could maybe try that.
Yeah, I think as long as she won't like see you and be like, "The fuck are you doing in my dream?" Then go for it.
I mean, if you could make yourself look like me,
Hmm.
she won't question that, because presumably she dreams about me every night.
That is so humble.
But
Well done.
The Keenan, the problem with that is, one, I don't really want to go into the details of what you two got up to. I'd have to know all the details. And two, we're relying on my charisma to charm her in her dreams.
Yeah, owl is much.
Good point.
I am probably the worst person when it comes to flirting, let's be fair. My girlfriend's in hell, and I haven't seen them for about 25 years, so I'm as dull as it comes when it comes to that side of things. I'm essentially a chastised monk at this point.
Oh,
Yeah,
we really
Zeph
need to
just
do
puts her
something about that.
Zeph is just like, look, just like snorts at that. It's just like, what the hell? And then remembers that like they're supposed to be like, you know, keeping being sneaky. Yeah.
I didn't mean to self-burn myself that bad with him. Holy shit! Just roll with it. Right. So have we agreed that you want me to try and eavesdrop on tonight then? Just to see if I can get a general vibe of what she might be thinking about. It's probably all going to be Keenan butt naked, but you never know.
Yep, as long as you're willing to risk the constant, the need to burn your eyes out after seeing God knows what, then
I mean,
we-
you've all seen it before.
Yeah. We've all seen Keenan naked at this point, let's be fair.
no, I know.
How bad
but
could it be?
I'm just like,
Against
she-
our wills.
personally, if she's dreaming about the act, I will scratch my own eyes out, but up to you.
On a more serious note, just be careful
Mm.
on intruding and being caught by her. At the moment, there's no hostilities between us, so just kind of try and be subtle when you go into her dream.
I'm not planning on interrogating her in there. It's more of a reconnaissance. Keep my distance vibe, but just in ish. The idea. Whether it goes that way is another thing, but we will come to that when we come to it. I've only really used it to help Nim so far, so I don't
Okay.
really know the extents.
So, setting up that night, as everyone begins to turn in, you can see I almost called it Casvera. Lady Sunshard, her tent is elegant and massive, and Keenan's in it. And they both eventually go to sleep, and the rest of you you watch as some of the guards do a patrol. One of you, probably either Nim or Zephyr, joining him, as you're a little bit wary of being killed also by the people you're next to, so you're probably keeping a watch of your own little encampment. And keeping a look as you watch Kalanthar sitting cross-legged in his tent, but the door's open just so you can keep an eye on him. And you watch as his tattoos begin to glow, and he almost turns spectral for a moment as part of his consciousness leaves to invade someone else's. I don't think you guys have seen this in its entirety as you watch him. You've seen some portions of it, but not like this. You watch him entering this sort of lucid dream state. Okay. So
First time we used it properly against someone else. But...
feeling around. So this will require some checks because whilst you can
100%.
You can feel the presence of both Keenan and Lady Sunshard as they meditate together. Almost go towards Keenan. You're like, whoa, don't want to see that. Making your way towards the consciousness of Lady Sunshard. Can you make me an Arcana check? With your proficiency added as well, so it'd be +6 and at advantage.
Oh, and
no way you can fuck this up, surely.
Well, I got a 19 on the first one.
Okay, wow.
27. So we'll see what we see if we get in at 20. We might.
Yeah, go
you
for
never
it.
know. No. So it's +6, so
Yeah.
25.
Okay, and roll me a stealth check at advantage. And this is to see if she can recognize someone else in her dream. We're doing Inception, y'all.
25.
Oh shit. What form does Kalanthar take in this scene?
What's actually happened? Like, what she like with the whole her and Keenan situation? Are they like just in a tent? Like, what's the vibe?
So they're both in her tent.
Okay.
But you don't. I would say as you invade her consciousness, you're not going to see the surroundings that she's in. You're going to see her dream, or whatever she's thinking about. Hopefully, it's not Keenan.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, if she's like imagining she's in a room or something, and I just turn to an owl, it's going to be pretty sus.
No, so this would be what form you take as the dream takes construct. So you would just be an aspect of the dream.
Okay. I guess I would just be not the I don't know. Does my roll carry over, or is there going to be another roll?
Your roll carries this. So your stealth check is like how well you can adjust to the scene.
I will. If it carries over, I will be the subject of her dream, so the person she's actually talking to. If that's cool.
Okay.
I'll let you decide what happens with that.
That's an interesting choice, but okay. Yeah. That's quite cool. That is a cool way to do this. We open as you find yourself standing. You find yourself standing because of your specific choice. You find yourself standing in amongst white stone towers overlooking an endless sapphire sea. You are standing in a grand coastal citadel built high upon cliffs. It seems to be wreathed in flowering ivy and leaves and has trees of silver. There are long banners that are rippling in the breeze as gulls are circling overhead. Servants and guards move through the open courtyards. You can see that there are musicians that are playing softly somewhere a little bit deeper into whatever this estate that you're in. And nobles are talking beneath very shaded balconies that are overlooking this vast ocean. You turn, this is hilarious, you turn to look at Lady Sunshard as she walks through the gardens. She looks, as much as an elf can, younger. There's a lot more light to her, although she is pretty light already. She seems very relaxed, and she's wearing pale gold robes with leaves and like sunburst patterns on it. And you are waiting there for her as this dream takes place. You are leaning sort of with both hands across a stone railing overlooking the ocean, with sunlight catching your face and the seas moving through, the sea winds moving through your hair. And you turn and you find yourself saying, "You're late." And Lady Sunshard dips her head. "Well, your guards seem to remain deeply suspicious of me." And he tilts his head. That tends to happen when light seems to follow you everywhere. And the two of you stand together overlooking the ocean for a while, as servants of lower elven houses appear and prepare tables for some celebration within the gardens. Fragments of conversation drift through the dream, and it's about then that you recognize it as a memory. It's sort of the feeling you get that this is familiar. Kasvirish still refuses to attend, and Lady Sunshard sighs, and she claims the politics bore her. And the man says, "It's a wise woman." As you are talking, your eyes cast downwards, and the gesturing which you make, you recognize blue-toned skin. Lady Sunshard seems to study you very carefully. "You're pushing yourself too hard again. Things are changing faster than people realize. Can you make me an insight check as you are in this dream?"
Try my best to keep notes as we go. So it's the insight, yeah. 17.
Okay. Yeah, he says, "Things are changing faster than people realize." Lady Sunshard seems to fold her arms. She's like, "You always say that, because it keeps being true. The planes are weakening. The activity increases each year. The kingdoms still argue over borders and trade routes like children. You know your elves will not hold for too long. I know you're from the south, but you have to convince them that this is our land." And on a 17, you recognize that the form you have taken is of Zarius himself, and you are the Stormcaller in this memory.
Oh my god. Okay.
Lady Sunshard, you sound frightened. I have to admit I am. Well, Kasvira says that we should be on guard. That war could break out at any moment. You are a good friend. And the dream seems to fade. And it's just Keenan in his undies. No, the memory fractures. You begin to see flashes of later moments, different days, arguments between Lady Sunshard and a woman that looks very familiar to you, of blue skin. Storms growing stronger on the horizon, breaking the purity of the ocean beyond you. Sunshard standing in the rain, screaming something you can't quite hear. The Stormcaller walking away across battlements of obsidian glass while lightning tears through the sky overhead. And one last clear image of Sunshard standing alone upon the same terrace years later, staring out at a black storm raging over a distant ocean. And there seems to be something in her eyes that you can't quite discern between longing or grief. And the dream dissolves, and you awaken. And I'd say on your insights, I'm going to make it very obvious because you will have made your own assumptions, but on your insight roll, you become very deeply uncomfortable with the truth that Lady Sunshard knew the Stormcaller personally long before the first Sundering War. Because she is an elf, and elves live for a very long time. That's all. You can take it away now. I'll be here, smiling to myself.
Was not expecting that. Right. I think I'll probably leave it till the morning. I won't interrupt the others, and I'll kind of take mental notes of everything. And is any of the others actually awake at this point? Or you, would it be?
Keenan would be, because the dream's dissolved, so you would guess that he's waking up. The other two would need to sleep.
Okay.
Oh, maybe Zephyr as well. Because you don't sleep as well, I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, Zephyr trances.
As the dream dissolves, I'll get up out of the tent, kind of ponder a little bit, and wander around, see if I can catch a glimpse of Keenan as I walk past the tent.
Tent's closed, guards are outside
No,
it.
it's proper closed, okay.
Yeah.
That's good, because I have to have line of sight for my psychic thing. Well, we got the earrings, haven't we?
Yeah, you have the earrings. You don't require sight for those.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just in the earring. Keenan, you awake?
Keenan, can you make me a perception check? And obviously this will be a disadvantage because you are blind.
That's a 6.
You hear, as you come out of your reverie, lol, you hear as you come out of your reverie, Callan's voice in your mind, and as you go to respond, to lift your hand up to your earring, there is a blade at your throat. And kneeling over you, as you are now prone on the floor, is Lady Sunshard, sort of hair, beautiful golden hair dropping past her face, and you can see those beautiful silvery eyes looking at you very intently, and she is holding a blade to your throat. Did you really think I wouldn't notice?
Notice what's going on? Like, what the fuck?
Your friend. Did you really think I wouldn't notice?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I did tell you they're a bit rough and ready. Did they try and sneak in? Like,
I will say, for brevity of the narrative, as this is happening, one of the guards opens part of the tent to quickly check, sees this happening, and drops the flap. But obviously, Callan, as they do that, you catch a glimpse of what's happening. You can sort of see on her hands and knees over the top of Keenan. At first, you're like, whoa! And then you recognize the blade at his throat. And as the guard sort of drops, recognizing that you probably shouldn't interrupt them right now.
Shit.
But yes.
Keenan is going to pretend to have no knowledge,
Okay.
But is going to summon a psionic blade to one of his hands, ready for if things kick off. But he's hoping that they won't.
That is where we're going to end our session.
Yeah.
Dun, dun,
And we will pick up
dun.
next time on the Stormcaller's Fury. Thank you very much for joining me. Some beautiful skill checks, both in incredible successes and a very sad failure. But it was narratively very nice to see. Got a little bit of money ready for some health potions down in hell. And you've met a new friend. Ish. Sort of friend. And seen the might of the winged guards of Cerelia, the flit dancers. But we will find out what happens with poor Keenan next time on a Stormcaller's Fury. But until then, obviously this has been my Wyrdcast. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Eternity's a gift, they say, to never cross the veil. This life I try to savor, and I try to no avail. Curse that mortal brevity which has rent you from my arms. Curse this cold eternity without you to keep me warm. Your never-ending elegy is a ballad with no melody, as empty as I. Now you've passed me by. A blessing, no, a malady. Why do roses bloom in spring, only to wither and die? You were all that was good in me. Now back to darkness go I. Take with you my sanity, better madness than the pain of my want. All my effort is vanity, and I hear the ravens taunt. Your never-ending elegy is a ballad with no melody, as empty as I. Now you've passed me by. A blessing, no, a malady.